welcome to another episode on Optical Armoury. In this episode I'm going to be doing a review on the Nitesite Viper R-tek. I've got my hands on this for a little while, so I'm going to obviously be putting it to its paces and seeing what it's like, obviously during the day and at night time. First things first, I'll do a little go through in the case just to show you what comes inside. It's a very impressive case, I may add to that. So yeah, I'll have a little run through it, what's in the contents, and obviously I'll then mount it onto the rifle and give you a good bit of footage through it during the day and at night. So yeah, stay tuned. Right, so I'm just going to have a little run through of the contents of the case. Like I said in the previous clip, absolutely cracking case this, because obviously you're not going to have it left on your scope whilst in transportation. And obviously when you want to carry it between permissions, and obviously once it's not even on the scope and you're just using your normal daytime scope. So yeah, this case is absolutely fantastic. As you can see, absolutely padded out to the max, so it's going to be very well looked after, and obviously that's just what you want, because obviously £749 for this, so you're not going to want it to be knocking around in the back of your car while you drive into your permission. But anyway, so it comes with you've got the memory card, Nitesite's own memory card. It's got the adapter, obviously you've got the warranty slip and the instructions, which are very simple. Then we'll go on to the mounts for the scope onto the eyepiece. I've used this one prior on my Hawk Sidewinder, absolutely perfect fit, nice snug fit, so obviously no light can get through, and that's the end that the camera module will slide onto, but I'll go through that in a sec. So then we'll have this is the IR mount, which goes onto your scope, sits into that little slot there. Obviously tighten it up so then that locks on. I'll do a little demonstration of it being mounted anyway. This is the IR module on the screen. It's got the brightness control, and this is to control the infrared for when you can either have it over a tight beam or more spread depending on the range that you're shooting at. And then we have the camera module and the battery pack that's already pre-charged. So yeah, with the new camera module, you've got the new added feature of the focus, so you're never going to have a blurry reticle again whilst you're filming through it. But you turn it on, focus it up into the scope, so you've got a nice crisp image. And then obviously it's got the record function on this now, so that once it's all powered up, just one tap of the record button and away you go. Obviously that's once you've got your memory card inserted into the memory card slot. And obviously that's the camera inside there. We can see the modules turning inside, turns the cogs to focus it into the reticle. So yeah, with the battery pack, this literally just clips onto the edge of around the back end of the scope, hardly weighs anything, so it's not going to move the scope, so no worries about that. And this is a 2000 mAh battery pack, so you get a good bit of time out of this. But I would recommend maybe getting a external power pack, because obviously if you're out shooting all night long, I would have thought the battery wouldn't circumference for the whole evening. So yeah, maybe if you've got an external battery pack that you can connect up to it whilst you was out, that'd be a pretty good idea, because I've only used it for short-term shooting at the moment, so I couldn't actually give you a precise time on how long the battery actually lasts. So yeah, that's the contents of the case. So you've got the charger, the eyepiece mounts, the mount for the IR, and obviously the camera and the battery pack. I'll do a short clip of it being mounted onto a rifle as well, just so you can get the gist of how that all goes on. But I must say it is very, very simple and literally takes around 30 seconds. So yeah, stay tuned. Right then guys, so I'm just going to do a run through of how to mount it. Obviously you can see I've got my Sidewinder on my HMR here. For any safety nuts out there, no mag, no bolt in the gun, not loaded, so there's nothing to worry about. So I'll just go through the process of how to mount it, or the way that my preferred way of doing it. Firstly, get the eyepiece, goes onto the back end of the scope. Like I said earlier, quite a lovely, nice tight fit. So obviously you get the movement once the camera's on the back end, so you can obviously get it dead centre to the scope, which does take a little bit of movement once the camera's mounted. I've already put the mount up here. Now this piece here, which wasn't on the one that I showed you in the last clip, this is like a little lock-in. It slides up once the screen module's in place. Like so. You slide the plastic up and then do the nut up, which is obviously you can't see because it's around the other side here. Do the nut up so then this is nice and secure onto the top of the scope. Now also, they must have thought about this because I was quite concerned when I first got it. You can actually still move the side wheel on the sidewinder. I know not everybody uses the sidewinder, but when I first see where the IR module on the screen was going to go, it did cross my mind that it was actually going to interfere with the sidewinder, but they've done it just to the right height, so you can still get a good bit of movement on the side wheel, on the sidewinder scope anyway. Right, so then obviously now they've got the cable that runs down from the back. Personally, I like to just wrap it around the scope. You can still then use the focus, or the zoom should I say, whilst that's wrapped around there, and then onto the camera module. I just simply pushes into the back end of the rubber sleeve on the back of the eyepiece and the battery pack. The last time I used this, I put it down on the end of my on the stock, but it didn't work out too well. And obviously, if you leave enough length on this to go into the back end of the camera to power up the screen, you can then just mount that onto the back end there, and it sits nice and neat. As I said before, it doesn't weigh hardly or anything, so it's not going to move the scope, it's not going to pull your zero out. And then obviously you then plug these, just move that around a bit. So then the cables literally reach around and go into the back of the camera there. You've got one hole for the power and one for the screen. So literally, obviously, without doing a demonstration on how to mount it onto your scope, it does literally take a matter of seconds to do this, which is what's so fantastic about Nitesite. So yeah, stay tuned, and I'll do a bit of daytime footage through this, through the sidewinder, and also I'll put a couple of clips up of it being used in obviously the night time, which is obviously its main use. Alright, so now that's all mounted up, I'll just do a quick run through and actually how. That's the power button. You fire that up straight away, the screen's on. Obviously you can see, I don't know if you can see. Screen's lit up. I've already pre-centered the camera, so it's literally nice on the reticle and the scope. And obviously then if you zoom in, it stays, or zoom out, it stays nice and central. And obviously can't see it too well on there, but focus the reticle in nice and sharp. So then obviously once you're all zeroed up on your scope, you're good to go. Now this is just for the screen brightness. You can see it's just turn that down. Obviously for once you're out at night, you don't want to have it too bright because you're going to get the glare back at your face, and then obviously it's going to save on battery power as well. So then you can turn it down to literally minimal brightness so you can still see, and obviously for during the day, turn the brightness up. And this is for the IR, the spread of the beam of the light, and pulls it in tight, or you get more of a glare depending on what sort of range you're using that at. So yeah, that's everything all powered up, and like I say, with the record button, literally one push of that starts recording. Then obviously you don't have to do anything else. Another tap, ends recording, saved onto the memory card, and obviously once you get home you can upload your stuff straight onto your tablet or your PC or laptop. Right guys, so I've set the target up, set it up at 50 yards, just to give you a quick demonstration of what it's like during the day. And obviously I'm going to wait for the sun to go down, and I'm trying to take a couple of rabbits out while I'm down at my mission. to obviously show you what it's like at night. So yeah, the next few shots that you'll see will be taken through the Nitesite. It'll be recorded through the device onto the memory card, and then I'll obviously use that to upload onto my computer to then create this video. So yeah, like I say, it's taken at 50 yards, just to give you a rough idea of how clear it is, and the quality of the video playback that you can expect. So obviously, if you do decide to buy one of these, like I said before, absolute cracking bit of technology this, easy to set up, and a joy to actually use, even if obviously you've got to set it up at night. So simple to do. Right, so just my overall views on the Nitesite Viper R-tek. Absolutely cracking bit of kit. As you can see by the video footage, clear as day during the day and equally as good as night. Now, although I've got this mounted on my 17 HMR, I would say that the Viper is more for an air rifle, because you get a good range out to, say, 100 yards. And then obviously the next model's up, and obviously you've got the Wolf and the Eagle. So yeah, I'd say absolutely cracking. If, you know, by all means, people may not shoot any further than 100 yards with a rimfire or centerfire rifle. But if you obviously wanted to take things further with the Nitesite, I'd suggest getting either the Eagle or the Wolf. As this one, as I say, it's good out to about 100 yards. I've also tested that with my Hawk rangefinder. So yeah, the build quality, fantastic. I mean, it is water resistant. It's not 100% waterproof, so you're not going to be able to use it in torrential downpours. But the simplicity of the device and putting it all together on your scope is just an absolute piece of cake. So yeah, fantastic piece of equipment to have, especially for the guys that like to go out doing lamping. Obviously with the foxes, rabbits, rats, seeing a pitch black barn. Highly recommend this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, and I'll have some more bits and pieces on the way. Cheers guys.